Hi there, welcome to Chainlink Wyckoff technical analysis session. So Chainlink has started its second test, and during the last distribution cycle it exhibited a very let's say quick or rapid response after the second test. So let's quickly take a look if in case it does repeat what happened, better take some precaution, right? So this the weekly chart of Chainlink. What we see here is after the drop from this upward trend line, now we can take away. I ask a few questions. Was that really the buying climax? And automatic reaction, subsequently second test over here. Or is it just part of the PSY? Why I'm asking these questions? Because a lot of times if you look at some of these charts, you see during the PSY period, it would exhibit some horizontal trading instead of just straight up scenarios. So that's why I put in this question here, because if it is the case that we're still at PSY, then we'll expect the buying climax hasn't come yet. Here the buying climax was, or at least past, the purple key level of around $29.20, but now we are only at the blue key level of $26.10. Not even the wick over here touches the purple key level. So that's why, or that's what triggered my question, whether these stages have already happened. Assuming that's the case, that means the support or people that would like to invest into Chainlink is getting less than the last cycle. So now I'm going to draw this line. If you have been following me, I've drawn this line in a couple of altcoins charts. This is an unhealthy line. So I have to say it in a weird way because it's definitely worrying if we see this kind of lines appearing, especially in a time frame like that of the weekly, because that's what the whales or the big guys will look at when they drive the fluctuations. So if this is going through a downtrend, that means they probably are going to invest in somewhere else. Likewise for the crowd, the sheeps or the little small fishes like us, the number of people FOMOing in got less basically. Maybe there are more altcoins nowadays, that's why they're putting their money elsewhere instead of focusing on the ones that has been around for a couple of years. So there are new favorites in short. So that's the cautionary notice I'm issuing here. If this is really finishing like last time, see here when the price gone to the automatic reaction, did a bit of fluctuation and then eventually reached the second test. Honestly, I would even term this as LPSY, so it depends on how you see it, right? So let's call that second test for now. And very quickly, after reaching the second test, the tip of the second test over here, it quickly turned into a downtrend, reaching all the way to the selling climax in a period of just 70 days, 10 weeks roughly. So be really careful. Like if it really 10 weeks from now, that means it's basically around mid-November. We would be already back into the accumulation zone. Hopefully that's not the case, because if you're bullish, what you would hope for is to break this trend line. That's the first one you want Chainlink to exhibit that behavior. The second behavior you want to see is to go challenge and go above the purple key level of $29.20. That would become an upthrust in this scenario. Or just a BC. Why I'm saying this? Because remember in the very beginning I mentioned about the question that I have. This can well be just the PSY period and not the buying climax here. The buying climax would happen somewhere outside. So in order to eliminate the confusion, let's put it like this. If that's the blue PSY over here, that's the buying climax, what would we have right there is another PSY. Let's change it to a different color, and the buying climax would actually be somewhere around here, hopefully above the purple key level. And then eventually, obviously, we've got the automatic reaction somewhere down here. Yep, too early to tell, but still, let's talk about or discuss about these two scenarios, right? So, one, the yellow one, we're still at the PSY period, waiting for the price to go to the buying climax. Two, we're in the blue scenario, that the buying climax has already appeared, likewise for automatic reaction, and we're already at second test, or even like an LPSY back in January this year. So I've shared both scenarios. If I switch on the Bollinger Band corner squeeze, obviously there's no squeeze right now because the previous squeeze energy has been released. And so let's get to the daily and see whether that's the case. Well, in daily we're seeing a squeeze happening. You see this narrow bar, this shade at the back. That means for the indicator itself, it considers the squeeze has happened just today. I would consider it started 2 days back already. So anyway, if a squeeze has happened, that means in a few days time, if it continues to trade sideways, a bigger price move would happen. When I look at this over here and combining what's in the daily, if the daily is really at an upthrust of the distribution, the case will likely be for the price to come down to challenge this support level, this light blue key level, and maybe even come down to test the green. So that's a bearish scenario, unfortunately, if that's really the case. But like, worry not, if it really comes down to test the light blue, if it is the yellow scenario, it would rebound and go challenge the other two key levels one more time. Well, maybe two more times, but at least once, if it is the yellow scenario, because we haven't reached the buying climax yet in that case. If it's the blue, it can come down to challenge the light blue in the daily, and then eventually go up and retest again, but just that it may not rebound as high as before. If it's the blue scenario, that it's ready to come down to the accumulation zone back in back in January this year. So for both scenarios, if it comes down to the light blue key level, that's not a surprise. If it comes down to the green, that may be a signal for the bulls to start to worry that the distribution cycle is over, and the long-term value as well. So I would say be cautious what's coming next, because it doesn't look like it's heading up for me. If I check it again, yeah, it seems like it's more likely to head down instead of head up. This, you see me draw this channel box a lot of times. This is where, or what it is performing right now. We see the price entered this box back in mid-August. It bounced a bit between the upside, the ceiling and the bottom edge of the box. And right now it's getting back from the ceiling. So that's very natural movement when a trading zone has been established. So while the price is being traded within this trading zone, and we see this dashed line over here, if I switch it back to candles, you see quite a number of candles found this line a support or a resistance. So when the price eventually come down, it may find support as well. But when it trades sideways, for the next few days, there's a triangle over here that it has to pass. So either by the time near the end of this month, it comes down to test the light blue key level, because it's following this downtrend and it already exhibited some similar behavior before, so it's not surprising that it comes down to test this key level and even go past it to the downside. So that's scenario 1. Scenario 2 is that it breaks outside of this downward trend zone or this channel and start to behave in a different way, searching for another channel. It can be downward, or like if there's sufficient support, it's going to retest the blue line over here. But like I said, it may be a bit challenging if this is really suppressed by this downward trend line, because it has already missed the timing to challenge that blue key level. You see this week, actually the last time it successfully challenged it was exactly where the line crosses the blue key level. So hopefully that's not the case, that this dashed line is not true. If it is, that means the peak is already over. So let's give it some time and see which scenario eventually plays out, whether it's the yellow or is it the blue. So let me know your view in the comments. Thanks for joining. See you in the next session.